Hello guys, welcome to the Racer Roundtable. Hope you're all having a great day. So, the French Grand Prix is going on this weekend. Circuit Paul Ricard. Let's be honest guys, is the track really that good? I think we can all agree it's not a great track at all. It's below average. It hasn't produced great racing. The 2019 race was one of the most boring races I've ever watched in my entire life. Since I started watching F1, the 2019 French Grand Prix, do not even bother to go and look at the highlights of that race. It was so boring. Let me just go over some quick facts for the French Grand Prix. First Grand Prix at Paul Ricard was in 1971. There are 53 laps and the circuit length is almost 6 kilometers long. The lap record is held by Sebastian Vettel at 132.740. Lewis Hamilton holds the track record of a 128 something, I think 128.3 from 2019. And primary overtaking spots. Pretty much turn 8, turn 1 if you're lucky, turn 3 if you're brave enough, turn 15 if you're close enough, like you have to be really close. And there's your overtaking spots. And the straights, obviously, the main straight and the first part of the Mistral straight. That's pretty much the primary overtaking spots. There's not really much overtaking you can get done here. This may be the final time at Paul Ricard for a long while, or maybe final time ever, because the French Grand Prix, the contract is running out this year. Spa is also dropping off the calendar and South Africa will come in, as well as maybe one other race. So I think Qatar even. So it's not looking good for the future of the French Grand Prix, home of motor racing in general, because the first ever motor race was held in France. So it's going to be a shame from that perspective, but the track itself is gutter trash. Get off the calendar. You have to get off the calendar. It's gutter trash. We're all in agreement with this, right? So the forecast as of today, I'm recording this on a Wednesday, am I? Or Tuesday? I'm recording this on a Tuesday, 19th of July. The forecast is 34 degrees Celsius on qualifying day, Saturday. And this means the track temperature will probably be around 50 something degrees, maybe even 60 something. Could be pushing 60. By the middle of the lap, probably just before the Mistral straight, the tires will be screaming. They will be screaming hot, asking the drivers to just slow down, let me rest, let me cool off, because they're going to be really suffering if the track temperature is about 50 degrees, 55 degrees. So then the drivers will need to be tactical with where they push, how they push, because they will not be able to push for a whole lap. And then you have the race, 32 degrees Celsius. Again, track temperature maybe 50 something degrees, 60 something degrees. Depends on how well the track absorbs the heat and retains the heat as well. And this will favor teams who do not warm up the tires very quickly. For example, Mercedes. Their tires last. The car is able to make the tires last. The initial phase of using the tires is not great, but once the tires are really warmed up, that's when it really comes into play, that Mercedes W13. So this may get into their hands. Like, they go like, oh, we don't need to really warm up the tires ourselves. The track will do it for us. And our car doesn't use the tires as much as the others, doesn't warm them up too much, doesn't overheat them. So we may come into play. So Mercedes may be able to stay out longer than Red Bull, for example, because Red Bull is key. Red Bull is very key. Will tire degradation play a part in their race? Because out of nowhere, they had tire degradation in Austria. Have they resolved that? Was that a one-off issue? Do they even know what caused it? We'll find out in qualifying, maybe even the race itself. So Red Bull will be key for this. If Red Bull have poor degradation, they may have to do 3 stops. And Mercedes and Ferrari could battle it out if Mercedes are in play. But it's going to be really hot because there's a heat wave in Europe. So I'm going to go over some storylines. First one is obviously Mercedes. Will Mercedes finally say what's up? Will they finally challenge properly for a race win? Because if it wasn't for the safety car in Silverstone, I think Lewis could have challenged for the win. Will this be the track where they finally, for the first time this season, on pure pace, challenge Ferrari and Red Bull? Even though Red Bull and Ferrari have the flexi floor issue, blah blah blah, will Mercedes challenge these guys? Can they challenge Max? Can they challenge Charles? Can they challenge Sainz? Can they challenge Perez? Will George and Lewis finally say what's up and get a double podium, if not a race win? Again, Red Bull is key for this because tire degradation will be key. We could see track temperatures of 60 degrees. These guys need to look after the tires. It is going to be very imperative. And they also have to look after themselves, because some drivers may not be well equipped for driving in the serious heat. It's going to be, let's say, 34 degrees on Saturday. The cockpit may get up to 60 degrees. Seriously, it gets really hot in there. So they'll lose a lot of fluids. They'll be fatigued. So driver fitness may come into it as well. It really will, over the course of the whole weekend, not just the race. And Mercedes are supposedly bringing upgrades that none of us can see. So that could either be internal or external. And most likely it's going to be the floor. And I think they've started going for performance gains instead of trying to rectify bouncing or porpoising. They're going for performance gains. And their race pace has been really good recently. So will they be able to continue that and challenge for the win? That's the key phrase this weekend. Will Mercedes finally challenge for the win? Then we move on to Ferrari. Will Ferrari continue their momentum and win another race? Whether Charles or Carlos, can they get back into the championship fight? Because they need to start gaining ground. The summer break is happening after this weekend, and they need to get their heads down. The summer break, you cannot attend the factory, you cannot manufacture parts, you can't do R&D. It's just a shutdown. Everyone's on break. So you cannot do anything during that, 3, 4, 5 weeks. After that, it's crunch time. You have to get your heads down, do the best you can with what you've got, because next year is fast approaching. You may have to stop development on this car, look towards the next car. And what happens now will set the tone for the beginning of the races after the summer break. So Ferrari need to continue this momentum. They need to show Red Bull that they've still got it within them. They have to say what's up to them. And Red Bull under mud, kind of publicity-wise, the Austria events, the unacceptable, abhorrent behavior by fans there. Seems to be mostly Max fans, and it's a shame that it's basically football fans are now getting into F1. The football fan culture, the hooliganism, the tribalism is getting into F1. Within the space of a year, it's completely changed. F1 used to be a calm fan base. There wasn't really tribalism like that. There wasn't abuse towards one another. There wasn't pure hatred. Now you have people making petty arguments, saying, "Oh, your driver did this," but then the other person will say your driver did that. Like, come on, guys. Like, it's just childish. Just get out of your system. Stop being tribalistic. These drivers, at the end of the day, they do not know you personally. They do not know you personally. They do not care about you personally. Of course, they care about the fans, but they don't know you personally. So there isn't this need to really fight with all your life to defend one driver. Every driver has done something wrong in their career. Every driver has done something wrong in their career. So there's no need to be battling with each other like which is the lesser evil. Just keep your mouth shut. Enjoy F1, please. No need for tribalism. So I'm going to make some predictions. First place, I predict Charles Leclerc to win. Second place, I predict George Russell. Third place, I predict Carlos Sainz. If not Carlos Sainz, then Lewis Hamilton. I don't think Red Bull will have, this is based on if Red Bull have not sorted out the tyre degradation. Because remember, the track temperature will be really high this weekend. So Red Bull have absolutely got to have sorted out that tyre degradation issue they had in Austria. Because if they haven't, then it's gonna be a long weekend for them. It's gonna be really long. It's gonna be a sticky one still for them. So those are my podium predictions. Let me know your predictions down below in the comments. What do you think will happen during the race weekend? Do you think some news about driver transfers will come out? Do you think Charles will win? Do you think Max will win? Do you think Mercedes could actually win? Do you think Lewis will keep up his streak of winning at least one race in every season he's been in F1? And do you think that Mick Schumacher will continue his great form and finish the points once again? And even Haas for that matter, do you think they'll get a double points finish? So please like, share, comment and subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Adios. Goodbye.